Yeah, the fader just came on. The fader just came on, is that right? Stop. I focused in on everybody. Focus.
Good evening. As the Royal Observer Corps approaches its stand down at the end of September in 1991, I'd just like to give you a quick cook's tour of number 36 post at Hadleigh and just show you over some of the principal items and equipment, as it will probably be one of the last occasions when we actually are able to visit the post as a whole. I'd like to show you first something that we call the WB1400 or the carrier receiver. It's a very ugly looking piece of equipment, but it is our most important form of warning of the impending air attack. The system is tested very simply by a bleep. When that bleep is going at that speed, we know all safe with the world. However, should an attack hit the United Kingdom, a warning will be passed from the Ballistic Missile Early Warning System at RAF Fylingdales and North American Air Defence Command at Colorado, and passed over the system to some 60,000 warning points throughout the United Kingdom, and can be relayed on to our NATO allies. Should a nuclear attack take place, one of the main pieces of equipment that the post actually has for detecting and giving some information on the bearing and elevation of that weapon, the actual nitty-gritty of where the bomb has gone off and how big it is provided for us by the ground zero indicator. The GZI is a very simple piece of equipment. Again, it's very old. It works on the principle of the pinhole camera with 4 very small holes drilled at each cardinal compass point. What would happen is that the flash of a nuclear weapon would produce a fireball. That fireball, the light from that fireball passes through the hole, and then on these graticules that you see inset here, it burns an image. just like exposing a camera. All of this is very sort of slow photographic paper. But what happens is, because the instrument is orientated very carefully, we can get information about where a bomb has gone off. By that I mean from what direction the blast has come. We can also tell whether the bomb burst is a ground burst or an air burst, and by taking readings of the size of the mark that is made on the paper, we can tell how big the bomb is. This is one of our principal items of equipment. And I say, although it's very old, it's very robust, and we think would have been very serviceable. Our principal means for detecting the arrival of radiation at the post is what we call the fixed survey meter, or the FSM. It's a very simple piece of equipment, again designed to be strong and reliable. It works on the principle that above the post is a small chamber connected via a cable to the meter. We can then detect radiation. In fact, the chamber that detects the radiation is very similar to a Geiger-Müller tube. When radiation arrives, the dials light up and tell us the level of the radiation. From that we can tell whether it's increasing, decreasing, or just stable. Again, a very important piece of equipment. Now, having said that we get all this information from the ground zero indicator and the fixed survey meter, of course communications is the next most important element. Here we turn to what we call the loudspeaker telephone, the LST. As you can see, it's in garish British Telecom blue and yellow, but what it does provide is our link to the outside world. From that we can talk to our group headquarters in Colchester, but also we can talk to 5 other posts on the circuit. On this particular circuit we can talk to 30 posts, which is at Sudbury, 31 posts, which is at Earlscourt, 35 posts, which is at Langham, and 37 posts, which is at Tendring. That gives us a multiple redundant system. Should part of the communications become damaged, then another part should work. And these cables are routed to defence standards, which means that they avoid all the major communication centres. Therefore, should a major exchange be hit, our communication should be unaffected. Right, what I'd like to show you now is 2 other items of home office equipment, and these are firstly the bomb power indicator, which is the first indication that we have that an attack has taken place, because when a nuclear weapon detonates, it throws an air ball, a burst of air, a high pressure air ball out from the weapon. When that air burst ball reaches the post, it knocks the meter over and we get a reading. Again, it's a very simple piece of equipment. It works in similar ways to an aneroid barometer. It's a modification of that. Simple, robust piece of equipment that would have served us well. Our principal means of warning the public that an air attack is in progress, and similarly that the all clear has taken place, is the siren. A simple handheld siren. Now obviously a piece of equipment like this will not reach tremendous distances, but we estimate that people would have been able to hear it for a range of about 3 miles. The sirens themselves are very old, some date back to just after the Second World War, but because they've been looked after and serviced, they are totally serviceable. They're very easy to use, but of course would have been supplemented by the powered siren system, which is connected to the carrier receiver system that we talked about when I first began this introduction. Just to finish off, we'd just like to show you two further items. We mentioned one, the fixed survey meter, which measures radiation. This is a similar device, but is a portable version. Again, battery powered, LED display, simple, functional and very strong. I've seen these tested by people driving minibuses over them, and they stand up to the treatment. Finally, one small but very important piece of equipment for us is the dosimeter, the individual dosimeter. Now, the function of the dosimeter is to measure the radiation dose accrued by an individual. As you can see, it's like a pen, albeit a very large pen, but inside is a small transistorized system for detecting the arrival of fallout. A small hairline moves across a set scale of radiation to tell us actually how much individual radiation has been accrued. Obviously important when somebody's moving outside of the post. Now the final bit of equipment, again, is very straightforward. It's simply a charger for that unit, and these units were to have been charged every 24 hours about noon each day. Right. That concludes the brief look around Hadleigh Post. It's obviously a very sad occasion for all of us, and the interesting thing is that though the core may be being made redundant, much of the equipment is being recovered by the Home Office for future use. Well, I hope it's been a useful introduction for you, and I trust you've understood my voice and enjoyed the video. Thank you.